And we're going. So you're saying you've never done anything like this before?
Yeah, no. I'm trying to think. The most I've done with like a microphone is when I've literally done like GCSE music or something.
Oh, you did GCSE music?
No, that's a lie. I done BTEC music, so it was all like it was all the computer works for music. So like behind making the music.
Right.
So like
sort of making the beats?
mixing boards, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Mixing boards and stuff, yeah.
I love that. I have a friend that does that. He recently made a little beat and then did this shitty Instagram video where they like do an ollie over a little carton of milk and then just scream, Graham! Did you ever make any like beats that worked?
No, they were absolutely atrocious. They were so bad. Like literally, they were absolutely atrocious. I just remember, and you know when like you think something's good, so then you're like, yeah, this bangs, and when someone else hears it, they're like, this is shit, and then you listen back and you're like, this is fucking shit. Like, what is this?
Just sounds like cavemen like
Exactly.
bashing on pots.
Like, I literally just threw anything in there, you know, just fiddled around with the reverb and whatnot. It was, atrocious.
It's easy to do, but not easy to do great.
Exactly.
Oh. Does this remind you of that at all, like the sort of recording a live audio?
Yeah, it does. It just like, just listening back and stuff, like the headphones and everything, yeah, it does. It's a little...
Yeah. Did you wear the headphones whilst you were editing and mixing it, hearing it live? Nice. Does this give you stage fright at all? Because you study musical theatre.
I wouldn't say I get stage fright. I think it's like a different type of... So if I'm actually on stage in front of people, like an audience, a paying audience, I've never gotten stage fright. But when it's like in front of a class, people that I speak to or like people that I see on a regular basis, that's then when stage fright comes in. I think that's because like I kind of know, even though nothing's gonna happen, but then I'm still kind of cautious if like people are judging me or whatsoever. But whereas if I'm on a stage, even though there's probably people there, I'm not gonna see them. They're not a part of my daily life.
Right. It's like when you're in front of your classmates, they know Paige and then they know the character. Whereas in front of the audience, it's just a blank canvas of whoever you're playing.
Yeah.
What sort of musicals have you done in the past?
I actually haven't done a lot. I've done, if we're going past, like when I was like a child.
Okay. How long have you been doing that?
No, like, you know, like just mini plays, like school plays.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like, because I haven't done like any actual proper musicals, but like plays to do connected with my school and stuff. So like in primary school, I done like Oliver Twist and Bugsy Malone.
Bugsy Malone?
Yeah.
The rapper?
No.
Oh.
There's a musical called Bugsy Malone. It's like they've done it about kids. So it's basically an adult lifestyle, but they've put kids in that position.
Right, like businessmen, lawyers.
Yeah, but like they're all like little kids dressed up as businessmen and like and it's like gangster vibe. So like old fashioned 70s gangster vibe.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's really cute for kids.
Yeah.
They get to feel like they're adults.
And then we've got like Tommy guns and whatnot. Yeah.
What kind of a character did you end up playing?
I was this character called Babyface, and basically, I just got to beat up some security guards. But like, I had like 4 lines, but yeah, I wasn't key to the scene. But like, I had to give stuff to people, I had to do stuff. It was a mixture of stuff like. What was the line? They changed my line to make it connect to our school. It was like, what was it? It was like, something band in Hill School, because that's the name of my school, and then it would be like, yeah, I can't remember. It's long ago.
Just little kids doing some dirty dealings on stage, giving a shout out to your school.
Exactly.
That's appropriate for a school environment. Tommy guns.
Literally.
Man.
Yeah. And
Well-
then high school. I didn't actually do any musicals. I done a play, but it was like a mixture of short story plays. Can't remember what it's called though. And when I went to college was a lot deeper because I went to the Brit school. So because it's like a performing arts college, it was more serious. So we created a play called Heroes. That was absolutely atrocious. But then
Really?
we
How
also-
come?
It
Sorry,
was
I think
just
the
'cause-
the little cable is like dragging across the table. Sorry, thank you.
Yeah, it was atrocious just because I think, number one, the play itself was a bit cringy. Like an ex-student must have written it. Sorry.
Of
But
course.
yeah, it was just like, but because it was for like year fives, it was kind of, maybe they liked it, but for us it was just a bit cringy.
Yeah.
And
What,
like
how old were you? Were you year 5 as well?
No. This is when I was in college when we performed this. So this is like when I was 17.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Working on a year 5 student's project.
No. So it was an ex-student from Brit school.
Okay.
But we had to, like, the performance aid for the show was like 5-year-olds. So 5-year-olds could watch the show
Okay.
and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, for us it was just like extremely cringy. The costumes were absolutely crap. Like they literally just sewed 2 pieces of like cloth together and then cut holes in it. And then yeah, it was atrocious.
Oh Lord. For going into college, was it like bright colours and stuff, like
Yeah.
CBB style?
Literally.
Oh man, I guess the cringiest thing for any college student. They want like
Exactly.
Tommy guns.
Should have done that. But yeah, and then we done Rent as our last performance show. That was good. Yeah, that as a final show, that was good.
Yeah, I did Emperor's New Clothes at college as like a little play, and we did it physical theatre style. Do you know any physical theatre like Burkoff or?
Yeah, I know. Do I pay attention? No.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Really, it drags on a bit,
Yeah.
but it felt really a bit demeaning. Like we're doing all these positions on stage. Like some people are acting as doors or like being opened on stage, making a little sound effect. It's just like brilliant. I came to college to act, and I'm a door.
Being a tree.
Can you personify a tree? It's like the classic drama thing. Have you ever been asked to do that?
No, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
I was reading up about it last night, funnily enough, and like the whole thing about be a tree, and like people say like when am I going to be asked to play a willow tree in a play? It's about feeling that, like, let's say you are playing a high status character and you go, okay, I'm going to play a crown, I'm going to act like a crown, and then you'd have like a bit maybe stronger shoulders, or you'd speak with a slower pace,
Yeah.
and from there personifying the object allows you to play the character. But
Yeah.
for some people that just comes naturally.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
What sort of characters do you like playing the most?
I don't really know. Like, I would say I'm just more comfortable in the characters that I'm given.
So you're really adaptable.
Yeah. But most of the characters that I'm given are pretty much the same type of thing. Like, it's pretty much either the funny person, or like, it's either going to be the funny person or the cute person that's just on the side there. So, yeah.
Oh. But you're happy with them. So that's what
Yeah,
matters.
that's because it's like, what I find is that I actually prefer being an ensemble character, because every single time that I've been an ensemble character, I've always like gotten feedback where people are like, Paige, like, all I was looking at was you.
No way.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay. And then I kind of enjoy that when it's like, oh, like, you were the best ensemble there, Paige. Da, 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 da. So I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, and I was told once that if you've been given ensemble, make sure like you're the best one there. Like, make sure that you stand out from the rest. But yeah.
Wow, okay. So that feeling of standing out, you've never been tempted to sort of go into taking the main spotlight sort of thing, even though you're the spotlight of the ensemble? Or is it the pleasure of standing out from that ensemble that you're like, yeah, I did it?
Fuck the rest of you. I don't know. Like, I feel like I wouldn't say can't. I haven't really been given the opportunity to have a main cast, like be in a main cast position, but I don't think I would want to, just because, number one, it's like a lot of work.
Yeah.
I'm such a lazy like MT student, but like it's not the fact that I'm lazy, it's the fact that like I'm dyslexic.
Mm-hmm.
So learning stuff doesn't come as easy, but like with ensemble, it's just dancing, say a couple lines, be a bit funny or be a bit sad, and then dancing.
Right.
So like, because it's more practical, like I can do it more. Some main characters are practical, but ensemble's mostly practical.
Yeah, of course. So it's got the same energy. You still
Yeah.
get to fully express yourself.
Yeah.
But you don't, like, for a person with dyslexia, I didn't know you had dyslexia.
Oh,
That must be a pain in the arse. You get given like a script, you're like, fuck.
yeah.
It's 10 times harder.
Literally, that's actually funny because people are like to me, oh, that makes sense. Another one got this dyslexia, they're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes
Wow.
sense now.
Do you think dyslexia like affects your personality at all?
I don't think it affects my personality.
Oh my god, sorry about that. Just playing some music.
I don't think it affects my personality. I think it just, like, it affects just my learning capability, really. Like, yeah, with scripts and stuff, every script that I've been given, I can do it, but I just don't know. I'm scared for what my capability is. Like, I don't know my capability. So, like, all the scripts that we've been given this term for our assessments and stuff, I've learned all of them, but again, they're not a lot of scripts. Like, there's only, like, 4, and, like, there's 2 pages out of each 4, like, out of each one of them.
Okay.
But
That
I don't know
sounds
if I
like quite a
can-
bit of work,
Yeah.
to be fair.
It is quite a bit of work, but an actual play would be like dozens.
Dozens and dozens of pages.
Well, dozens of pages, and you're saying like half of those lines.
Oof.
It's just scary.
Yeah, and you only have like 2 months usually to learn all that.
Exactly.
It's too much, really. But yeah, that's harsh.
That's why I'm then like, so when I think about like the main character, I'm like, oh my gosh, no.
No, thank you. That's a lot of words.
Yeah, just give me 2 lines, I'm done.
Why not? You know, you still get the same fun out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah. What? Do you know Hamilton?
Yeah.
What do you think of Hamilton?
I think, you know what I find funny? I think Hamilton is actually amazing. I know some people don't think it is. But every person that I have spoken to is like, when they rewatch Hamilton or when they watch Hamilton, it reminds them of what they want to be doing.
Like motivation?
Yeah, like it's literally motivation. Like I know when it came on Disney Plus and I watched it, because I've seen it in theatre.
Sorry, you might need to move the mic just a little bit closer.
I had seen it in like the theatre, like as a theatre. What am I talking about? I've seen it as a musical, like in person.
Yeah.
And then I'd watched it on, like my TV, and like again, it just kind of motivated me. Like I was just like, this is what I want to be doing in like a couple years time. Like, oh my gosh, what the hell am I doing with my life? Fix up.
Motivated you in terms of like wanting to be that great in a musical, or motivated you in terms because the characters are so hardworking?
Both, like, because if you see, like, personally for me, like I hadn't grown up in the dance community, but I had experience with dance, and then as I've grown up, like, even though again I didn't really dip back into dance properly, I still wanted to do dance, but I just wasn't fully motivated to like go to classes and stuff. But then like watching Hamilton, like the dancers are very, like they've been trained since like birth, like as soon as they hopped out of the womb, doing backflips and stuff, like literally.
Yeah.
And then now I'm like, when I then watch that and I'm like, oh, okay, so now I need to catch up. Like, okay, like Paige, you actually have to
Get your shit together.
exactly,
Yeah.
literally. But yeah,
I wouldn't have ever thought that a musical could have that sort of an effect, but I suppose it comes in anything.
yeah, it's like.
Have you seen the film Big Fish?
Big. I don't think I have.
Oh, what you were saying a second ago about the baby hopping out and doing backflips or whatever reminded me of this scene where the baby, like the character is so full of life that when he's given birth to, he just slides down the entire corridor. It's a brilliant scene.
I feel like I've seen this scene, I just haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Definitely recommend it. God, are there any films that give you that same sort of a motivation?
I think with films, I kind of just like the legacy of it. And I also like the just, I want to understand how to actually just, I don't know how to explain it. Okay, with films, I just want to see myself as a different person. So like, I can't wait till the moment, or if I do have the chance to go to the moment of when like I'm sitting down and I'm watching myself on screen be a different person, like in an actual like film environment, like with all the editing and everything, like just as a different person. Like I just want to see that, and like I kind of enjoy the legacy. Like a film will always be there, whereas a musical, like you only see. That's why I'm more like, I was always deciding whether I should go into acting or do musicals, but I always wanted to do dance. Like dance, I just wanted to continue with dance. So I was like, okay, like fingers crossed there's a course out there that does film and dance. Well, it does musical theatre, but
Yeah, the University of Chichester has been a blessing.
exactly.
The joint course.
Literally.
So are you swaying more towards one or the other now?
I would say, I actually don't know. Like, I would say film, because at the moment the MT like situation with COVID and whatnot is just atrocious.
Yeah.
So like there's like 0 jobs for people that are doing MT, but film is lessened, but it's still happening. Like they're just a little bit more cautious.
Yeah, for sure. With a film, all you need are like 5 people on a set.
Literally.
Whereas with musical theatre, I suppose you could film a theatre production, but it's nowhere near the same value of, say, in the audience, seeing the excitement, the energy,
Exactly.
all of that. Do you have any preferred roles when you're on film? Like, do you prefer taking the lead?
With film, yes, actually. Because I just find I just find it a lot easier. Like, because with, like, when I'm doing a scene with someone else, only sometimes I can, like, bounce back from their energy. I can only give what they're giving me.
Right. Yeah.
Because I feel a little bit uncomfortable if I'm giving more, because I feel like it looks like I'm trying to outstage them or something.
Mm-hmm. So if you have someone like come into a film set and they're being all staged, like being extra, and then you feel like, that's not what I prepared. Prepared.
I thought a little bit less than that, yeah.
Something like real life.
Yeah, literally.
You were saying before about using like the films as an escape. So like you'll watch a film and you'll imagine yourself as the character.
Yeah.
Where do you think that comes from? Is that like wanting to, like what sort of a character do you like to go into? Like the badass or the hero?
I don't know. Like, I do it with a lot of films, really. Like, it's just... I think it's just wondering. Like, I think I've just got an obsession with, like, seeing myself as a different... Like, just seeing myself in different positions.
Yeah, just the possibility of it sort of thing. Just unleashing your imagination.
Exactly.
Right. I get that. I think that's a common thing with people that, I might be totally wrong on this, but people that have dyslexia or ADHD, because I have ADHD, and I've been told that I have a creative mind, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you think? Yeah.
It's very common that people that think outside of the box, that's what I like to call it, are more creative, because we don't, the ones that aren't that good at education, or even if you are good at education, you're still more creative than others.
Yeah, because you view it all in a different way.
Exactly.
Like they pick up this book and they can read through it bit by bit and go, oh, that is exactly what the author meant.
Yeah.
But through maybe getting distracted, like with ADHD, if I get distracted whilst I'm reading the book, my thoughts still on the book.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh, what could the character be doing next? Will he go down this path or this path? Whereas the other students would have just read it and they'd be like, oh, fair, he went down the left path. But I'm thinking of like, what is down the right path?
Is it this? Is it this?
You ever have that with like, have you ever found that your thoughts just, obviously you can't read other people's thoughts, but.
With me, like, reading is just atrocious. Like, when I read, it's just, I don't read.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Does the letters like...
With reading, I genuinely cannot imagine anything. I don't know why, I just can't. But, like, my mind would just drift off. I would just be like, so what am I going to have for dinner today? Or, what am I doing this weekend? Or, like, oh, this word, okay, what the hell is this word? Then I'll start thinking about the dictionary. Then I'll start thinking about, like, you know when, like, you Google words on the dictionary, like, website, and I'll think of, like, the image of that, like, word being on the dictionary. It's just a long process. Like, my mind will just go everywhere and anywhere.
That's incredible. Like, so you think more in images, maybe, rather than words?
Yeah, more in images.
Wow, that's so cool. Like, I've never heard of anyone, like, going into a dictionary thing and being, like, just looking at the word and imagining it as this whole picture.
Because, you know, it's, like, written in, like, a weird type of way. So I'm like, okay, so now what would this word look like in that type of way? Yeah.
Right. Like, so do you imagine a certain word, like, it looks one way, and then you're like, okay, how could it look in this way? Like, seeing it in all these different ways?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. Well, I'm really curious about how you read, like, obviously you don't read the book because it's an impossible task, but what do you see when you look at the page? Like, do the letters move or, like, mesh together? Is it, like, static?
It's just, like, it's literally... For me, because I know some people, like, they say that the letters move. Mm. For me, the letters don't move. They just, like... The only way that is coming to my mind to explain it is, like, you know when you're walking down a corridor and the corridor gets longer and longer and longer?
Oh.
The words, it just looks like there's more than what is there. So it's like, whereas you may be seeing like 50 lines, I'm seeing like 1,000 and 100, like too many lines. I'm just like,
Jesus.
yeah, this is looking like a headache. Let me not touch that.
I'm not going to meddle with that trippy ass, but what on earth? That's horrific. That's the sort of thing that you'd see on drugs. Well, do you see that in anything else in life? Like, apart from a page, like, if you're, I don't know, like a menu or something like that?
Yeah, yeah, with like menus and stuff. If it's like a lot of writing and there's like 0 pictures, if it's a lot of writing and 0 pictures, all I just see is like, just, again, more words than what there needs to be. Like, double the words.
That's hell. Do you have to like get someone next to you to be like, hey, can you read this for me, please?
No, I have to like, actually, like when I first look at it, I'll be like, what the hell is this? And then I have to be like, okay, find what I actually want, and then be like, okay, like finger on page, reading it word by word,
slowly
dragging my finger across.
Gherkins? No.
Like, move on to the next one.
Do you like gherkins?
No, actually.
Oh no, I
I
love
need
gherkins.
them in McDonald's, but even then I'm like,
Not the best. Do you ever have to like pick them out?
sometimes I don't. I just can't be asked.
Yeah. She's gonna chow through the sweet gherkin. I just thought of something really weird. Does dyslexia, do you think, come into taste? Like other senses, like hearing, or is it just words, just visual?
I don't. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I suppose you don't know how I hear things, so you can't compare. Yeah.
I don't think so. My hearing's pretty shit anyway, so like, yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, that's cool. And what if it's just, do you struggle with like one word? Like if it, like a word like natural mineral water on the bottle there, like would that be challenge? Like would that fade into the distance, do you think? Or sorry, I'm really going into your dyslexia. I'm just fascinated by it. The mind.
It's like, it's only when it's like lots of like I can read I can read children's books like pretty easily. It's just when, if it's like big, or if it's like really small and it's just all line after line after line after line after line, that's then when it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's too much. That's when the trippy effect starts.
Exactly.
That's horrific. Pain in the ass. Especially with scripts. God damn.
Oh yeah, with scripts. Because the teachers will be like, so we'll read a line after each. If I don't read it before, I'll be like, the man went to the... Like, I have to go over it 2 times, I would say, before I can read it comfortably and actually add different characters into when I'm reading it.
Right. Do you think that helps with character work at all?
It does, but then it's also like, it's a bit long, because whereas other people can just go straight into, Sally, why the hell are you doing this, that and the other, whereas I'm gonna be like, Sally, why the hell are you doing this, yada yada yada. Like, I'll just go into like pure monotone because this is the first time that I'm reading it, whereas other people are like already putting in characters and are already like bouncing around with it, whereas I'm just like, first read it, then second time, and then third time, okay, now let me add characters.
Right. Does that get in the way of rehearsals at all?
Yeah, a little bit. Not like a big inconvenience, just like, it's just...
A minor delay. Just like a minute or 2. Yeah. That's interesting, because the way you were saying about reading it monotone, there's practice. Do you know Sanford Meisner?
Yeah.
Have you worked on him at all? Oh, really?
Yeah.
When did you get to work on Meisner? That's so cool.
I worked on him in college.
Wow. I thought he was just a university thing because this is the first time I've ever heard of him. I'm surprised that like he's brought up elsewhere.
Yeah, no, it's been, in college.
And there's this thing that he says about learn the lines fully and then just read it completely neutral, completely like blank, like as if they're not like robotic as such, because that's adding something to it, but just as if there's no emotion. Then when you're saying it to the other person, it's got all this opportunity to go anywhere because you haven't added a character on top of it anyway. So if you'd added a happy emotion and then the other person was reacting sad, you'd have to like take it completely the other way. But if it's neutral, you just have a little way to go.
Yeah.
Do you ever find that with like the monotone speech, or is it just a pain in the ass?
I think it depends, because if it was both ways, as if like the other person was doing it monotone as well, then I could think of different ways. But because the other person has already kind of got their character sorted, I kind of need to go off of theirs. Well, I feel as though I need to go like off of what they're giving me. So like, if they're already doing it like really energetic and like they're just very energized, then I'm gonna be like, okay, so I'm gonna now do it energetic.
Right. So in a way, it gives you more of an advantage because you can be more adaptable to what, like, you have the neutral base, whereas they've created something. Yeah. And you can completely play off of them because you're already on a neutral plane, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Never thought of it that way, but yeah.
But then again, that's a pain in the ass because, like, if you first glance at the script and you're like, I wanted to do this low energy, but he's already got it high energy.
Yeah, literally.
What was the last play you worked on? Or musical?
My last musical would be Rent, actually. That would be Rent.
What was the dancing like in that?
There wasn't a lot, but there was, it was like a lot of kicking, a lot of running, jumping off of stuff, swinging from bars.
Right, I can already imagine. A bit like, what's it called? That musical that's kind of based off of Romeo and Juliet, that's like mob gangsters, Tommy Gunn.
I don't think what you're talking about.
West Side Story, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit like that, but like New York and and more like in the 90s, I would say.
Okay. Sorry, would you mind like bringing the mic down towards you?
90s or 80s, I would say.
Nice.
And yeah, it was just like, there was a little bit of contemporary, like lyrical contemporary. But that was like the tiniest bit, like for like 30 seconds.
Okay. So as ensemble, do you get to dance like as much as well?
Depending on the musical.
Okay.
Because some musicals aren't that dancey, but they'll still be, there's never a musical without a bit of dance. Like there'll still be, or coordination, like there'll still be like little clicks or like step and clicks where you're doing it all together. But
where the whole stage is sort of following the groove of it all like going into, okay.
Or there'll just be like little bits of like dance where like maybe you just might just slide out or slide in, I don't know.
Yeah. That's cool. Have you done like dance without the musical before, like just dance on its own, like, I don't know, ballet, contemporary style stuff?
Yeah. In secondary, I done dance as a GCSE, and it was just like we had a whole performance. It's just a bit crazy. Yeah, it was a bit long.
Just a bit of an effort, really.
Yeah.
Dance. Oh. Do you get to like ever add character into your dances?
Oh yeah, all the time. I feel like if you don't have a character for your dance, or whatever is really given, like you're not really dancing properly.
Okay.
Because like you have to show emotion in dance. Like I don't know if you've heard or like in the house or anything, but like when we dance, we have to be smiling. Like we have to, if it's like a happy dance, we have to be like smiling. We have to be like smiling constantly. And if we're not, we get marked down.
Jeez. So can it be a fake smile, or does it have to be like really over the top?
It depends on how good your fake smile is. Like if it's absolutely crap and you just look like you're fucking crazy, then like no. But like if it's like okay and like it looks a little bit normal, then yeah. But, like you have to, like, because with dance there's like so much in it. Like you have to like go in time with the music. You have to act like kind of make it your own a little bit. And like again, smiling, like it's just a bit long, but yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that dances included character. Like even dances like ballet. Have you done any ballet?
I haven't done ballet, no.
Okay.
But yeah, because even ballets, they have like their own little performances, and there's character behind that, like.
Okay.
Yeah, there's character in like everything, really.
True. Yeah, it's all based on a story. I suppose all of it, and as performers, as actors, dancers, whatever, our role is to be a vessel for the story. We're like little puppets. Whether if we're on a film, yeah. And yeah, if we're on a stage doing a dance, we're just a puppet for the story, just flouncing about.
Exactly.
And without the story, we're just people dancing. Wow. It's all about the emotion. That makes a lot of sense. What do you sort of use to wind down after a day of dance or musical theatre?
I don't actually do anything. That's really bad. Some classes, they'll wind you down afterwards. So like they'll do like a warm down. Is it a warm down? I don't think it's called that.
A cool down?
Yeah, cool down. That's it. Cool down. I don't want to talk about. You know more than me.
Oh, barely. It's just because I work out. Is what I Google.
Yeah, literally, they would do like a cool down for vocals. There is a cool down for dance, but it's just like, it's basically stretching. For dance, it's stretching afterwards.
Yeah.
For vocals, it's just doing a lower key than normal. Like if you're doing a cool down. So whereas if you're doing a warm up for vocals, you'll be going up the scale. Whereas if you was doing a cool down, you would be going down the scale. You can go up, but you wouldn't be going as high as like normal.
So do higher pitches like work your throat and muscles more, your vocal muscles?
Yes, especially on the control that you have for them. Like, because if you're like belting 24/7, that's what makes you lose your voice.
Right.
Even if you're like doing it perfectly, like nothing wrong, your voice is still gonna, because it's working.
Yeah. So if you keep doing bicep curls every day, you're gonna injure yourself. Right.
Exactly. So it's like, whereas if you're just you can sing normally, like at a steady pace, not really like exceeding your limit or anything, and you can do that. Like, yeah, your voice will get tired, but it wouldn't be as damaging as belting like 24/7.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Like Johnny Cash style, like rounded singing. It's very guttural down there, whereas high pitch is way up there.
Yeah.
My original question about like winding down, I didn't mean like after the dances. I meant like, how do you chill out? Like,
chill out.
What do you do in your spare time to take your mind off of all of the stress of musical theatre? Or not stress, but the energy, whatever.
I literally watch TV. I watch cartoons.
Oh, really?
I watch a lot of cartoons.
Like, I know you watch anime.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of anime. I watch anime, but not like a lot. Like I'm not. Like,
Only a bit.
Obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Like, because I think there's a different sense of loving anime. Like, I can watch anime. I mainly think I watch anime just because it's a cartoon.
Right.
But like, I didn't watch anime with the when they speak in Japanese.
Oh right, only like American.
Yeah, only. Okay. Yeah, that's like how you know that I'm not like that into anime, because I know people that like are really into it. They watch it with like the actual voiceovers instead of the American or the British voiceovers.
Yeah, it's more about the culture, exactly. All of that.
Yeah,
I've heard from Nathan that you watch, what's it called? Food Wars?
Oh, yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I've heard that it can get really sexual on that, and it's about food. I really want to know more about what makes it like. Do they like make innuendos, or?
It's like basically like they'll literally just taste. Imagine that. Okay, like imagine they made like fries, yeah.
Yeah.
But like because they like fried it in let's say like goose fat or something, then one of the judges would eat the fry and be like, oh my god, like, basically have an orgasm like in front of it. Like I think the championship, yeah, you had to make the head teacher rip off his shirt and and literally he would taste the food, and then I remember one of them, he tasted the food and then he's like, and he's thinking in his mind and he's like, he ripped off my clothes without me even knowing what the hell happened here. like it's just weird.
That is the most Japanese thing I think I've ever heard. The food, what? So they get so excited, they're like, oh!
Literally.
That's insane. That could never be made by a British person.
The imagination just isn't there.
Oh my god. Very, very out of the box thinking right there. Yeah. Are there any other like ways that they win competitions other than shirt ripping?
There was one where like one lady, so like she had a Dutch accent, she spoke in Dutch, and then as soon as she tasted food, like excellent made food, she would then speak like perfect English.
But that's very good. What?
Exactly, like she would like she's all speaking Dutch, and no one can understand her, and then like she would say a couple English words, and then like next you know she's just speaking perfect English as she's describing the food.
What? So it's like a trigger in her head, like kind of like Superman's that element. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, Superman has this specific element that triggers like the fact that he can't use his powers. But it's like the opposite of that. If she tastes a certain food, suddenly she has the ability to speak English. Like
like she's just like, oh, the food is so delicious. This, that, and the other. Cooked to perfection. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Amazing. What other cartoons do you watch?
I actually watch anything and everything. I can't even lie. I watch like, because I had a niece. I have a niece.
Jesus.
Yeah, I have a niece. I would watch like Peppa Pig, but like I can happily watch Peppa Pig normally. Sometimes I'll get annoyed, but like, and I watch like The Simpsons and Rick and Morty, and I watch like literally anything and everything.
I love being able to watch. Like some people say that it's childish to watch cartoons, but I can watch Peppa Pig.
Exactly.
Something like that.
It's just fun. So easy. And you know what? Sometimes like because it's for kids, but if you like notice, like sometimes they make jokes for adults because they know that they have to sit there and like just watch it with their child. Sometimes there's like little jokes in there for adults.
Yeah, 100%. I've seen that in I think it's Shrek. They do that a lot.
Yeah.
Like when they walk up to the tower of Lord Farquaad, the dwarf, and they see the tower is huge, and he's got these like two small towers either side. He's like, "Do you think he's compensating for something?" Obviously, it's a penis joke.
Yeah, you know, like when you watch old movies and like when you watch old movies that you used to watch when you was a kid, and you're like, hold on, I didn't know they went that. Like, what the hell? Like, that was in there.
It's so ridiculous. It's a bit of a mindfuck because you're so innocent as a child.
Exactly. You literally thought nothing of it. Like, I remember when like my brothers would like, they would watch it with me and they would be laughing, and I'm like, why are they laughing? What the hell? And then I watch back and I'm like, oh, because of this is fucking funny. Like, what the hell?
Respect to the producers for putting in sex jokes for the adults.
In a PG-13 movie.
They just sneak it in there, as long as it isn't too obvious. And Toy Story, do you remember, have you seen Toy Story?
Yeah.
You know the little toys that the guy has like mutated?
Yeah.
There's like, do you remember the little toy with like a fish hook and the like lady's legs?
Yeah.
It's a hooker.
I did not think of that. I didn't even clock that. Wow.
It's ridiculous. The little things they had in. Well, you were saying you watch other TV shows as well.
Yeah.
What sort of TV shows?
Like actual TV shows, like still cartoons.
It's just either. Do you have a specific like non-anime cartoon that you like?
I would say non-anime cartoon. Mm-hmm. It'd probably be Rick and Morty.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, 100%. It's just a vibe.
It is. It's a weird one. A lot of sex jokes in that.
Exactly.
It's a weird one. It's really emotional as well. Like they take you on a really strong journey with the character.
Yeah.
With Rick as well, he's quite suicidal. He's drunk. He's got issues with his family. It's not just, I think a lot of people assume cartoons are like, oh my god, you're watching two characters go on adventures. What are you doing? It's like there's more to it.
You know what? I find that so funny because I think if there's people that don't watch cartoons that much, but when they watch cartoons, they're like, they'll be like, they'll look at Rick and Morty and they'll be like, what the hell is this? Like, what actually is this? But whereas people that like watch cartoons a lot, they read into the characters a bit more. So like, because I'll agree, like Rick is like very messed up. Like he has a lot of issues of like sharing his emotions and stuff. Yeah. And like he tries to do it in different ways, but then like none of the ways work. Like when he tries to get rid of Jerry, because he genuinely, yes, he hates Jerry, but like he genuinely wants, I forgot the mum's name.
I cannot remember. No, I can't remember. That's horrific. But yeah, he wants
his daughter to like actually move on because he thinks that Jerry's bringing her down.
Yeah.
Like there's just a lot of, but she doesn't see it that way. She just thinks that he's trying to ruin her life.
Beth.
Yeah, that's it. Beth.
Yeah, 100%. There's more to it, and it's with anything really. I suppose the more you spend time on it, the more you look into it.
Yeah.
Like, even like normal TV shows, like someone who's never seen a TV show, like, I don't know, like a monk in India or wherever monks are from, they might watch it and be like, you're watching people on a screen, like there are people in the real world. Why aren't you connecting with real people? And then if they watched like seasons and seasons of different shows, they'd be like, oh, these are in a way real people. They have got all this backstory.
Yeah.
And emotion. I suppose the same goes for cartoons, in the way that we look at it and like someone from the outside would literally just blank it off. Like, that's not real.
Exactly.
It's a drawing, man. It's just a drawing, but there's more to it. 100%. Yeah. Where about, are you from the UK? Have you like lived here your whole life?
Yeah, I've lived here my whole life.
Whereabouts from the UK?
I am from South London, Croydon to be exact.
Okay. I've heard from another housemate that Croydon is an area of brutality and machetes and murder.
It's not that, but it's actually not that bad. Like it's not. Like I would say, if anything, there's more like violence, but there's not like proper knife crime. Like there's worse in like Stratford or in like West London or something. But Croydon, I wouldn't say Croydon's that bad.
Okay. So it's just like scraps on the street.
Yeah, like literally. Like I remember the first time I showed one of my friends, because at my college, a lot of my friends were like from different areas of London. Like
Right.
none of them were actually, because my college was in Croydon, but none of them were actually from Croydon. They were from like everywhere, like else but Croydon.
Okay.
So the first time that I actually showed them around Croydon, as soon as we hopped off the bus, there was like two men like fighting in the middle of the street. And I was just like, oh wow. And like here's me screaming at school, Croydon isn't even that bad. Like you're just over exaggerating, like it's not even that bad. And the next thing you know, like as soon as you hop off the bus, it's just two people scrapping in the street. It's like, wow.
That is a ridiculous first impression. It's embarrassing.
Like, I was like, come on guys.
Get your shit together. We gotta get Croydon looking good, man.
Exactly. On vacation, come on.
So
Yeah.
did you say you went to school in Croydon?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you find the school there compared to like university? Like not the actual education system itself, but the social dynamics. Like, are people a bit like friendlier there, or
People, I would say people were very friendly, but I'm just not a very antisocial. I am a very antisocial person. Like, in fact, I'm not antisocial. I would say it's a mixture of being shy and genuinely like I'm a bit bougie in my sense. Like, if you really want to talk to me, you will talk to me. I don't like, because I'm the type of person I can create conversation.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you want that conversation as well.
Right.
So then I feel as though if I don't talk but you talk to me, then I know, okay, so you actually want to communicate, like you actually, okay, so you're actually making an effort, okay, then I'll put, because if you give me something, then I'll like put, okay, 110% more into that, because I know that you've now made that effort.
Right.
So I'm now going to continue it, because I don't want to just be a bitch and be like, no. Whereas, if like, so at that school, at that college, sorry, there was a lot of, because there's different strands. There's like, so you've got dance, you've got theatre, you've got musical theatre, which was what I was in. Then you've got like something like CAP, which is community musical theatre. Okay. So that's basically like, say if you wanted to be like a Disney character, like you could do that. You learn sign language and stuff. And there's like art and other stuff. We were very mixed. Like, I've got a couple friends in each strand, but it was just a little bit hard to talk to to talk to other people, because they thought that they were like all that and stuff, because they like already had experience in like on like being on TV or something like that, or performing for others. So it was a little bit hard talking to people. And in like the musical theatre experience, with musical theatre, like being in the strand of musical theatre, a lot of people like thought that they were better than you. Right, yeah. Like they're like, oh, how can this person get this role? Like I'm so much better, like I deserve more and stuff like that. So, like, it was... I prefer here because here is a bit more chill, even though there will always be people that think I'm better than this person, like, what the hell?
Yeah, of course.
But it's just like... It's like here... It's less obvious, I would say.
Yeah.
Whereas because that school was like a pure musical theatre school, college, sorry, it was very much like, I'm the best, what the hell? Like, everyone was more friendly. It's weird because it's like, everyone was more friendlier than here is. Like, here you really just have to actually speak to people and make friends, whereas there, pretty much everyone already knew each other. Yeah,
you've already established that thing of they've already spoken to me, I've already spoken to them, so I know they want to speak to me, whereas here, you don't know if they want that communication.
Like there, like, people were very, like, outward, like, they were very, like, outgoing, so they could, like, speak to people and whatnot.
Right.
But here, it's more like, oh, I've got my friendship group, I don't need to make any more friends.
Yeah.
Get off my face. Yeah.
Don't talk to me, bitch.
Exactly.
I'm better than you.
Who the hell are you? Ew.
Mean Girls all over again. Mean Girls University.
Literally.
Yeah. God, I often find that people that are like, I'm better than you, are really limiting themselves off. Because, like, if you say, like, I don't know, maybe you're better than me, you're opening that person up to be like, oh, I could gain some knowledge. But by saying, I'm better than you, it's like, oh, cool. That's all avenues of possibility closed off. And maybe that's why they're not as much at uni, because they've said, like, with my audition for uni, I had to do a monologue, and the teacher... my monologue was shit. Like, my performance wasn't good. There were a lot of things that went wrong. My character, like, a lot of the lines were one after the other, maybe following the exact same emotion rather than bouncing off of different meanings.
Yeah.
And the teacher said, change that. So, and I could have gone, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm better than you. I'm going to do it how I want it.
Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't have got into the uni, but by changing it a little bit, they were like, he's ready to learn.
Yeah.
So I think the ego can really prevent people from leveling up in the world.
It really can.
Closes you off. We've got 2.5 minutes left.
Oh.
How have you found it?
Surprisingly, like, good. I'm not even gonna lie, like, I thought this was just gonna drag. It didn't actually drag, it didn't, like...
Oh, the first episodes did.
Yeah.
My God, there was one episode where I did, where it was painful.
Like, the time's actually gone pretty quickly, so, yeah.
It's just, it's taking a lot of practice to be able to, like... I think the main thing I found was not thinking, like, oh, I've got to put on this performance for my audience. They're going to really want me to, like, say the right questions, like this nervous fucking wreck, because no one wants that. I thought, I'm going to just have a conversation and try and make it a fun conversation for both. And yeah, like you were saying earlier, like, I'll go into a question, and if the other person isn't interested, then I'll be like, oh, okay, they don't want to talk about that, I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'll fly somewhere else. Yeah. It's fun. I've tried to put up these little things as, like, stimulus as well. Or, like, the questions to ask. Like, when I asked about chilling out, like, what do you use to wind down? I looked at the lavender. I was like, oh, lavender's a pretty chill drug. The drug. It's a herb. Makes you chill.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. You think you'd ever do anything like this again?
Yeah, probably.
So, no, it's fun.
Yeah, it is.
Man. Now it's dragging.
Yeah. I'm thinking like,
well, when do we go now?
last 2 minutes.
We've got 40 seconds to talk about something interesting. Do you have any, like, piece of advice you could give to the world in your last 30 seconds?
Gosh. I don't know. No, I don't. Don't listen to me. I don't know.
Just stretch.
Stretch.
Yes, before you get old, stretch. Otherwise, you won't be able to bend down and pick things up. And eat avocados because they're good for you.
Exactly.
Right, we're at 1 hour. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Bye.